What's up, everyone? Welcome to our last class in this Adjective Genius course. Today, we are going to talk about adjective order. Let's go? Alrighty then. In this last class, guys, we'll talk about adjective order, which is a very important feature of the adjectives in English. Adjective order consists on the organization of words and sentences. Adjective order consists on the organization of sentences that contain multiple adjectives to the same place, thing, or object. Let's take a look on how to do that. Adjective order in English usually concerns this very interesting acronym. I like to call it Osasco MP, just because Osasco is a city here in Brazil. But you can call it however you want. It's nice to memorize it in a way that is most comfortable to you. So, adjective order, guys, happens when more than one adjective comes before a noun. The adjectives are normally in a particular order. Adjectives which describe opinions or attitudes, for example, amazing, it's incredible, usually come first, before the more neutral, factual ones. For example, colors like red, blue, or black. Right? Here's a great example of that. She was wearing an amazing red coat. So I have the amazing adjective and also the red adjective to coat. Now this order, amazing, red, is the only possible order for native speakers of English. It's sort of an untold rule that everyone just knows how to do. So it would not be possible to say something like red, amazing coat. The order is not correct, right? If you don't want to emphasize any specific adjectives, the most usual sequence of the adjectives is first, opinion, what you think of something. Then the size of something, is it big or small, short or long? The age of something, old, young, middle-aged. Then the shape, right? So is it rectangular? Is it circular? Then the color, blue, red, orange. The origin, is it Brazilian? Is it Japanese? The material, right? Leather or maybe fabric. And finally, the purpose, what you can do with it. Here are two examples, and these are examples that I created, guys, okay? I didn't take from any source material. So, the dog was a beautiful old brown lab. Beautiful, old, and brown. In the right order, right? Beautiful being my opinion about the dog, old being the age of the dog, and brown being, of course, the color. You can see I skipped a couple of them, but they are in the correct order. Okay? The same happens in the sentence, her cakes are delicious, that is my opinion. Little, that is the size. And they are also Japanese. Japanese here is the origin. So her cakes are delicious little Japanese shortcakes. So the order here matters. But let me tell you something, guys. Even though the order here is very important, you gotta keep in mind that most of these adjective sentences that contain a lot of adjectives, they are not very common. Okay, so here's a list of possible things that we can do, but that aren't actually that common. So, like I said before, these types of sentences are extremely rare, okay? But they are completely possible. And if you keep in mind opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose in that correct order, you can do amazing sentences, such as, he was a handsome, tall, thin, middle-aged, black-haired Irish man. Yes, that is a sentence, and that is grammatically correct in English. Also things like, what an amazing little old Chinese cup and saucer. These sentences, despite being so long and so filled with adjectives, they might sound a little weird to you, right? But they are, despite that, they are completely correct. Okay? But please remember, they aren't very common, especially in spoken English. They are most common in written English, especially in books where the writer has to describe a lot of places, a lot of new artifacts and characters. They will likely use adjective order to place lots of adjectives into the same person, thing, or place. Okay? Just one more thing before we go, guys. Adjectives joined by and. And is a conjunction that we have in English. And as you saw before in my creative examples, we don't use a lot of and when we are using the adjective order Osasco MP. And that is because, well, it is not necessary, right? You can just add as many adjectives as you want and just the thing, place, or person right at the end. However, it is completely possible to add and between the last two adjectives on that list. That will happen if you are describing something and you finish the sentence on the adjective. Remember, in our first class, we talked about adjective placement, right? So if your adjective comes before the thing that it is describing, we do not need and as a conjunction. However, if you create a sentence where the thing, place, or person is before, and you have the verb to be, and then you have your adjectives, then you can add the last two adjectives with and, right? So just like I said, and here is an example. Home was always a warm, welcoming place. Warm and welcoming are describing place. So of course, I do not need and to connect those two adjectives. Now it is a sad, dark, and cold place. So now it is sad, dark, and cold. I am not talking about place here. It is just sad, dark, and cold. These are descriptors of it right here. So I can add the two, I can connect the last two adjectives with and. Okay? Very interesting here, guys. And is less common when more than one adjective comes before the noun. For example, a warm, welcoming place, like I just said. However, we can use and when there are two or more adjectives of the same type, or when the adjectives refer to different parts of the same thing. So if you're using two adjectives of color, you can connect them using and. If you're using two adjectives of size, you can connect them using and, even if your person, thing, or place comes afterwards. Such as in the example, it was a white and blue cotton shirt, right? Just like the flag of the United States, red, white, and blue flag, right? The three words describe color, therefore we can, of course, put our conjunction and right there. That's it for our classes. That's it for our Adjective Genius course, guys. Thank you so much for joining us in this course. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned a lot from it. Don't forget to complete the exercises and enjoy our extra booklet. Thank you so much. I have been Thaisi. You have been awesome. Bye-bye.